You wake up one morning and prices are doubling every hour. Your savings, everything you thought was secure, suddenly worth less than the paper they're printed on. It sounds like a dystopian movie, but it's exactly what happened in Weimar Germany and in Zimbabwe when their money collapsed. Now imagine it happening again in our time. In a world where governments print trillions, where debt piles up, and where new powers challenge the US dollar, what if our currency failed? And more importantly, how can you protect yourself? In this video, we'll explore what survives when money dies. We'll look at 6 asset classes that have historically held their value when paper money didn't. We'll dive into stories, numbers, and patterns, from ancient gold coins to modern crypto, and even AI-powered investments. You'll learn why gold broke past $4,000 an ounce, how stablecoins are quietly moving $46 trillion a year, and why Generation Z's soft-saving lifestyle might become the next financial time bomb. Stay tuned, because the last asset on our list might just save your life in a crisis. Every empire, every dominant currency eventually falls. The Greek drachma gave way to the Roman denarius. The Venetian ducat ruled for centuries, until the Dutch guilder and the British pound took over. Then came the US dollar. But no currency stays supreme forever. War, debt, and technology, they always rewrite the rules. And today, those same forces are stirring again. Most of the world's money is fiat, paper, backed not by gold, but by trust. Trust that the government won't print too much. But when that trust breaks, inflation takes over. In 2020, the US printed almost a quarter of all dollars ever created. Debt exploded, and with it, doubt. When people lose faith in paper, they rush to things that feel real. What happens if the dollar loses its crown? Experts warn of chaos, hyperinflation that wipes out savings, trade collapsing, global power shifting overnight. We've seen the signs: massive debt, endless money printing, and rising geopolitical tension. If countries stop using the dollar for trade, demand falls. But history gives us comfort. These changes take years, and time means opportunity to prepare. The BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, are building something new. A shared currency, maybe even backed by gold. At their 2024 summit, leaders discussed a BRICS unit, a direct challenge to the US dollar. Today, the dollar still dominates, almost 90% of global trading. But 1 in 5 oil trades already happens in other currencies. Holding some Swiss francs, Singapore dollars, or maybe one day that BRICS unit could spread your risk. Visually, imagine a world map shifting colours. The dollar's share fading as new currencies rise. Gold, humanity's oldest form of trust. In 2025, it hit $4,000 an ounce. Again. Investors and even central banks turned back to it as the world grew uncertain. Why? Because gold doesn't depend on promises. It simply is. Silver and platinum, though less glamorous, served the same purpose. Real, tangible value in an unstable. Digital gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, stablecoins. Together, they've built a $4 trillion ecosystem. Visa, BlackRock, JP Morgan, all moving into crypto. Stablecoins alone now handle $46 trillion in transactions every year. Governments are nervous, but when trust fades from fiat money, digital alternatives become more than speculation. They become lifeboats. You can't print land. And that's why real estate often stands tall when currencies fall. The US housing market faces a shortage of millions of homes. Owning land or property isn't just about profit, it's about stability. Of course, high prices, taxes and rent controls complicate things. But when your money loses meaning, a roof you own can still keep you safe. When money collapses, trade doesn't stop, it changes. In Venezuela, people bartered food and fuel instead of cash. That's why preppers aren't crazy. They're practical. Food, water, medicine, energy. The essentials become currency. A small garden or a solar panel might buy you more peace of mind than another stock portfolio. Then there are the overlooked assets: farmland, art, wine, collectibles, things of beauty and utility. They're not liquid, not simple, but they hold value when systems don't. In times of crisis, wealth hides in strange places, often in things that feed, inspire, or endure. Technology isn't just part of the future, it is the currency of the future. AI models like DeepSeek are already transforming economics, finance, and creativity. AI-driven trading, blockchain automation, personal finance bots. It's a new frontier, but one that comes with risk. Surveillance, dependency, and inequality. Use technology wisely, as a tool, not a master. 70% of Gen Z say they'd rather live well today than save for tomorrow. 48% admit they live for today. Happiness matters, but the future does too. This movement toward soft saving could leave millions unprepared. True financial freedom is balance, joy today, security tomorrow. Nearly every major economy is now testing digital currencies issued by central banks. China's digital yuan, India's e-rupee. The US is exploring a wholesale version. These central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, promise speed and efficiency. But they also bring control and surveillance. Money, programmable by governments. The question is, will that future empower us or monitor us? The IMF warns that global growth is slowing. Inflation is easing, but still above targets. The FED cuts rates, cautiously. And uncertainty lingers. Protectionism, supply chains, and politics. The advice? Rebuild buffers, reduce debt, preserve independence. The storm isn't over, it's just moving slower. We've seen this movie before. Weimar, Zimbabwe, Venezuela. Every hyperinflation follows the same script. Print too much, lose trust, collapse. But those who owned real assets, gold, land, foreign money, or even food, survived. History doesn't repeat exactly, but it rhymes. Here's what you can do. Diversify. Keep some physical gold or silver. Hold a mix of foreign currencies or crypto. Own something tangible, property, farmland or tools. Build an emergency stash and learn practical skills. Above all, stay calm. The dollar won't vanish overnight, but those who prepare early sleep easier. In the end, wealth isn't just about money. It's about resilience, your ability to adapt when systems fail. History shows us what happens when paper burns, and what endures when people think ahead. If this helped you see the future a little clearer, like, share, and subscribe. Next episode, gold-backed digital currencies, the new hybrid economy.